Jesus Christ, that fucking flash. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Chainlink1TN here, giving you a deck profile of Infernoids, because you know what? I have not done this profile like I said I would for you guys to check out after what happened to my locals tournaments. I'll say this past Friday and Saturday, I got second place at Game Repair, and then in the new shop Tier 1 cards, collectibles, and toys. And then on fucking Tuesday, this past Tuesday, I got first place on the tournament with it at Tier 1. And so I figured, you know what, screw it. Let's give y'all guys my updated profile on this deck, because you know how much I love this deck. So yeah, let's get to it, shall we? Let's start off with a main deck. Starting off, we got the 2 and no choose, because you know me, I'm not gonna lower this card down to 1. I noticed that a lot of Inferno players do run it at 1, and the way I see it, he's actually still very important to run. He's your biggest beat stick in the deck, negates and banishes back row, and he is a dark hole. Like, sometimes it's what you need. Sometimes, sure, like mass monster destruction isn't the greatest thing right now since Swiss cheese, but sometimes it is warranted, and this guy can get you the game because of it. And why I run 2 is because, like, sometimes I've had to banish 1, and then I've needed another no shoot, and I'm like, well, fuck, and I milled off the burial from a different dimension, so it's like, well, damn. So that's why I run 2, because I don't want to see it. After that, I got Bay, Infernoid Bay, because she's fucking awesome. That heavy storm effect is really warranted right now, because if we can't have heavy storm, you might as well give us a monster that has the same effect. So, and it protects your void cards. If you run like the void vanishment, for example, and it's face up, it's not going to destroy it. So, and on top of that, being able to negate and banish monsters when they activate an effect from anywhere in the field, even during damage step, that's awesome. That is very strong, and is very needed right now. This is, honestly, I'm surprised this card is as cheap as it is, because this is arguably the best Infernoid in the deck. After that, 3 Tondal, standard, you already know I play 3, double attacker, and also I use it a lot now for rank 8 plays, because I'll actually show you my rank 8s. I run 3, so you'll see what they are later. And then my now second favorite, and I believe the second best Infernoid, it utterly wrecks Burning Abyss if you summon it, Infernoid Cydamus. The effect is really strong, that if you attack a monster, doesn't have to destroy or nothing, just has to attack it. At the end of the battle phase, you can banish any card on the field, and it does not target. That's really strong, and like I said, Burning Abyss squirm to this card right here. Anything that loves the graveyard and it's like floaters, and you just, like, for example, Yang Zings. Oh man, I've just controlled both Burning Abyss and Yang Zings with just this card alone, just attacking their monster, special on their next one, and I just banish it. It's very strong. That's it for the higher ones, and I got the lower ones. I got 2 Patrulia. You're probably gonna wonder why the hell only 2 and not 3. Well, the way I see it, yes, the MST effect is really good, but the thing is, the cards you needed to MST or whatever, or like when you needed to summon to MST something, it's because there's a floodgate on the field, and it's not going to get past that floodgate, unfortunately, because of its special summoning condition. Like, for example, Imperial Narwhal, can't summon this guy. Vanities, can't summon this guy. Skill Drain, can't use the effect. So that's why I only run 2. Like, if I can get a Void Seer behind it, and it's not a Vanities or an Imperial Ironwall, or they chain either or after it's been summoned, well then yeah, sure, I can do it. But that's the only reason why I run 2. After that, 2 Harmodic. Monster Destruction is not warranted in this format, but we'll see what happens in the next format. I might bump it up to 3 depending on what this next format brings for us. But for now, I only run 2. I do have a 3rd copy, of course, just in case. And it's needlessly expensive, too. It's really not that great of a card. Then I run 3 Entra because compulsing any face-up card is actually pretty good. And it's a 2000 defense monster. That's a big booty for a monster, for a level 2 monster. So, and people have a really hard time trying to get over it, especially when I start compulsing either their monsters or their background. They can't summon anything high enough to get over it and whatnot. It just sits there, and you can protect it with the Void Seer. And it's like your opponent's like, well, fuck, what do? Can't do much about it. So that's why I run 3. He's not really the only one I run 3 of for the small ones. And after that, 1 Promias. I'll run 1 because, I mean, yes, the Night Beam effect is good, really good, especially since you can't respond to it, and it shuffles back into the deck. But, I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world right now either. And, I mean, I'd rather just have the Entra, because half the time, that they're not going to have that many set cards anyways, so that's why I only run 1. I might bump it up to 2, I used to run it at 2, but I'm fine with it at just 1 for now. And after that's it for the Infernoid monsters, now I'm going to show you the non-Infernoid monsters. And I'm going to start off with my tech card that has been doing so much work. Great Shogun Shien. This card is amazing because when it's on the field, if it successfully hits the field, especially like say it's Necros, they're screwed. Like they have to think about what's the most optimal play I can make if you don't have Dark Hole or Geki, or like Book of Moon or any of that stuff in your hand. All you have is like say the ritual spells. Be prepared to figure out which one you want to summon first, because that will be your last summon if you can't get over a Shien. Because as long as this is on the field, your opponent can only activate 1 spell / trap card each turn. So you activate a trap, that's it for spells and traps. You activate a spell, that's it for spells and traps for that whole turn. And that's really strong right now. So, and it's a 2500 attack monster. That's a level 7 good reasoning target, and I've been able to tribute summon it before if I have had to. Like I've done that before. But he's a really strong card, and he's definitely made my opponent's game slow down a lot because of it, allowing me to go as fast as I want and be able to pummel my opponent to a pulp. After that, I've got the Lightsworn engine. I got 1 Aaron, 1 Lila, and 1 Raiden. I'll run 1 of each to lower the count for the reasoning targets, as well as just having your basic level 4 Lightsworns. Raiden for the extra mill, and he's a tuner. Lila for back row removal. And I run Aaron because it is an out to the Jin lock. Because your Colossus is 9 times out of 10 going to be the monster they summon. And if they do not have a Valk right then and there, I'm going to attack it. I'm going to attack into it with Aaron and shuffle it back into the deck. Because that's its effects. Attacks a defense position monster, shuffle it into the deck. And then, of course, mill 3 cards afterwards. And then, of course, like it hurts Shadal's, because every time they have a face-down set monster, I'm just going to shuffle it back into the deck. And then if there's Burning Abyss, shuffle that Dante back into the deck. Like, yeah, hell yeah. But depending on what this new format looks like, I'm probably going to start siding it out and putting another Raiden. Because I don't like it when he gets bottom list. That's it for here. The level 4s, and then I got the 2 Luminas, because every single time they call reasoning, it always ends up being a level 4 they call. And so if this is in my hand and they somehow, like I say, I mill the Raiden, sweet. You just fell right into my trap. You did exactly what I wanted you to call and do and call. And so I summon the Lumina, discard a card, and get back my level 4. Like bam, just like that. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Let's go into the spells. Triple reasoning, standard, have to. You run anything less, or you don't run it at all, you're a scrub, and you shouldn't be playing, unless this guard gets hit and you're just trying to test it out without it. Well then, alright, you do that. But for now, run 3. You have to. It's the bread and butter of the deck, and it's what makes the deck so consistent. Or not consistent, but fast. After that, I got 3 Void Seer, because this card is amazing. I don't understand why people only run 2. I've never had a problem with 3. It does not clog. It's not overkill. And the protection is really needed, especially when a lot of people have more outs to your big beaters and whatnot, or just have cards that just disrupt your plays and whatnot. So this prevents all that stuff. This stops the lose a turn. If your opponent chains lose a turn or like skill drain to your summon of your monster, Void Spirit, it's unaffected for the rest of the turn. And then if it's in the graveyard, destruction effects are a thing of the past. So, heck yeah, you run 3. After that, I've got 2 Galaxy Cyclones because its graveyard effect is really important right now. Like the fact, because especially if you mill a MST, it's not going to do you anything. You mill this, you now have a live card in the graveyard that can get rid of back row. Face-up back row. Except for Imperial Ironwall, that's about the only card it cannot get rid of, but you have 2 other cards for that. Or you only have really 1, and that's the Lila. But that's perfectly fine. You can get it. You can use it twice in one duel, essentially. Once with using Lumina effect to summon it, and the other one just to straight up use Lila when you normal summon it or special summon it. So that's why this card is important. And even if you target a set card with it, and they chain that set card into, let's say, a continuous trap, it still gets destroyed because of the wording where it says. See if I can show you without the stupid glare. You can use, or let's see. Target 1 set spell trap card on the field, destroy it. Because it says destroy it, it gets destroyed regardless. Not a lot of people do not understand that, but that's actually the ruling, yes. If it said destroy that target, then no, it would not destroy it when it gets chained. After that, I got 2 Charger Light Brigades, because it's limited to 2. It mills 3 cards and searches out your Lightsworn engine, which is really strong. Then I got 2 Rhodas, because searching out the Raiden is critical, as well as the Aaron. At this point, you need more searches for that card to, like, say, get out the Genlock or just to speed up your engine. And it doesn't mill anything for you. It is actually good in that sense because you don't want to mill anything good, and you can just let all the other stuff. Like, say if you have a Reasoning, a Charge, and a Rhoda in your hand. Rhoda always activates first. Then you get your charge, and that's 2 targets effectively shuffled out of your deck for you to get the best optimal Reasoning play. So that's why I run extra search cards. After that, 2 Dark Holes and Regeki, the destruction of the deck. Sometimes you need it. It's not the most warranted of cards, but sometimes you need it. And then I've got the 1 Monster Gate. Wish this card to come back at least to 2. If the fake ban list, or not the fake ban list, but the rumored ban list ends up being any which way real at all, or any which way accurate, this at 2 is going to be amazing, and it's going to speed up the consistency of the deck so much. And after that, I got, for the last of the spells, 1 Burial to recycle my Infernoids. And for the traps, I just got 2 Breakthrough Skills. Can be activated in Grave, and it's just overall really strong. Effect negation right now is actually really good, and because there's a lot of things that rely on monster effects. The only deck that this card is really not great against is Cleaforts. The only time you would ever want to use Breakthrough Skill on a Cleafort monster is if it's Disc. Yeah, this is the only card. That's the only monster this card is good against in that deck. So, like, if I usually end up siding him out whenever I duel him. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. Let's go to the extra deck and show you the goody goods that is in here. Starting off for the synchros, because I run quite a few synchros and XEs. Starting off, I got the 1 Scrap Archfiend. Because it's a vanilla, so it does not apply to the Infernoid effect, the restriction of 8 or lower. Black Rose, because it's Black Rose, and I gotta nuke the field sometimes. I gotta go say board wipe, just reset button. Michael, because it's a banisher, just target a card on the field, banish it by paying 1,000, and it keeps on milling for your deck, so it's another great way to just go through your deck and keep up the engine alive. Yazi, because it can't be targeted, and it's 26, so you're summoning this against Burning Abyss. You can't get over it unless it's with an acid golem. So having this, gold. It's fucking gold. Then you got Clearwing Synchro Dragon Ulti, of course. Ulti looks nice, but I actually quite enjoy this card. This card is pretty good, really good. It's honestly not as good as I thought it would be, just because you can just beat over it with attacking it, like say with Shaddoll's. Everyone said, "Oh, this is gonna beat the shit out of Shaddoll's." Yes, in theory, but they can just summon. Actually, no, they can just summon like BLS or whatever, which actually happened. I summoned this guy, and the guy had BLS in his hand, and then just beat over it, and then proceeded to summon all his monsters that would have died because of Clearwing. So I mean, it's a situational card. It's still really good. Don't get me wrong. It's just not always the answer. Then I've got one Scrap Dragon, spot removal, and Crimson Blader, because right now I'm not making your opponent not be able to summon crap. It's really strong, and I like that idea of sometimes I don't want you to play. I mean, I'd like for you to play Yu-Gi-Oh just because it's fun when both people get to play Yu-Gi-Oh. But I'm not gonna make you play Yu-Gi-Oh for a whole turn. That's fine by me. I can live with that, but not for a whole duel. But I can live for a whole turn. And that's it for the synchros. Let's go into the Exceeds. I got a Lavalval chain here. I got one Lavalval chain because it's really good. You can either stack the deck or you can mill one card, which is not bad at all. And then I've got one Exciton Knight. Again, mass destruction for everything, including the back row. That's pretty good. See the way I see it, if the destruction implies to both monster and spells and traps, then I'm all for it. That's pretty strong. So I'll definitely like that a lot better than just like say monster destruction. After that, Gem Knight Pearl, because again, vanilla monster, that doesn't apply to the effects. Then I've got Big Eye for the rank 7, because I can make it with 2 side misses, or the Shein if I don't need the Shein anymore, and just take my opponent's monsters. I've done that a lot, and it's kind of a dick move, but hey, sometimes you gotta win. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. And then I've got I got here the Draco set, because it's another good rank 7 to play. Gives you extra tokens that can be used as tribute fodder for, like, say, a Nochu or Lilith, or just any of the other high level ones to just tribute and banish cards in the field. And then, of course, you still have one left, so that Draco Sack can't be destroyed by battle card effects. It's really good, and it's also spot removal. And for the rank 8, I got one Felgran, because Felgran's still really good. I've actually won games because of this, to be able to negate monster effects that my opponent had like last ditch effort to try to turn the game around, and just negated, and like, oh, well then you won. So that's why it's good, and makes cards unaffected. And then the last 2 cards in the extra deck that are going to be quite the interesting tech for you guys to check out. Number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. I run him because of the next card. Boom! Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Dragon, Photon Dragon. I've won games with this card. This card is amazing, and it's another spot removal card that's a 4,000 beater, and it's great. You can beat over towers with this card if you don't have the Anochu anymore. You can just really nothing can beat over this, to be honest, because like this is 4,000 right now. 4,000's strong as hell, and I've actually finally beat Simo with this card. Finally beat his Burning Abyss with this deck. 2-0'd him. Because game 1 I just did cite him as beatdown. Game 2 I won with this card because I opened up with opening hand to both of my Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors for side deck, and I set them both. Activated one, he got a little salty. He's like, ah, god damn it. So then he goes to summon the Virgil to get rid of it, and I chain the other one. He's like, you cock. So I basically go under that, and then I just summon my Infernoids and whatnot. We play a relatively slow game at that point. Never inflicted any damage, because he would warning my mom. Well, he warning my Lila, because I wanted to pop his back row. So he's at 6,000. Then he manages to make. I have a Tondal, so I couldn't attack at the moment though, because he made He makes an Acid Golem, because that's the highest beater, and I had no other high beaters to make. So he destroys one of my monsters in the field, because I had 2. Can't remember which both were, but then I was like thinking, alright. He decides to pay the 2,000 instead of detach, and I'm like, alright, how do I beat this guy? How do I get over it? Oh, snap! I had enough to make another Rotondal, overlay into, to Tachyon, to overlay into this, and he's at exactly 4,000. detach to pop it, and it's his only card in the field. Attack for game. Like, yes. Card is too good. He's too strong. Alright. That's been the main and extra deck. And I'll actually go ahead and show my side if you guys want to see it. So, let's go ahead and show you. I've got one Christia, because it's Christia, it's a Vanities, and I won games with it. Two Chaos Hunter, because it's Chaos Hunter. Two Jinzo, because it's Jinzo. And I think I've explained the cards enough for you all to know what they do, so I'm not going to really explain much. One Spell Cancer, because I can only afford one. One Trap Eater this time, just for my extra Floodgate removal. 3 MSTs, because back row removal is really important, and this deck suffers for back row and Floodgates. 3 Mistake, because it's Mistake, because Necros are technically still a thing for now, but we'll see what happens in the ban list. And then 2 Shadow Imprisonings, because, yeah, I don't need a third one. Maybe I'll probably up it up to 3 if I get more room, but yeah, for now it's just 2. So yeah, guys, this has been the Infernoid deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. If you got any suggestions or any comments or constructive criticism, that'd be much appreciated. I'm always open up for discussions of such. And also, if you want to support me, please support me by also checking out Team Ninja LV, which is the other YouTube channel that I am also a part of, that I also still host for. So the link will be in the description below. So yeah, if you want to check them out as well, feel free to do so. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day, YouTube, and I will be coming back at you soon with part 2 of Simo's Burning Abyss deck profile. Alright, deuces everybody.